Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the Fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoes.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another beer review. Continuing to review cheap beers that have been left at my house during the NFL playoffs this season. Tonight we are checking out the one and the only Miller High Life, aka the champagne of beers. Established per the label in 1903. I have some amazingly fond memories of this beer. High Life was one of the first beers I ever remember trying at parties in high school. There was the Super Bowl where the Steelers played the Cardinals. We lived out in the middle of nowhere, Central California, and my brother-in-law and a bunch of his friends came to our house for the weekend to watch the Super Bowl. I think there was a fight, there was a UFC fight that Saturday before, and then the Super Bowl was Sunday. And they brought 2 cases of 32-ounce High Life bottles. Sat in the garage all weekend drinking 32s of Miller High Life. And then Super Bowl 51, when the Patriots played the Falcons, I was at my parents' house watching the game. We were sharing, me and my brother-in-law were sharing beers. We were drinking like Treehouse and a bunch of stuff. And at halftime, when the Patriots were down 21-3, I decided to walk down the street to my buddy's house. He was having a Super Bowl party as well. I needed to get out of the house. Second half started. The Falcons scored to make it 28-3, and my buddy looked at me and said, "I don't have any craft beer, but I've got Miller High Life if you want one." And I said, "You know what? It's time to hit the panic button. We're going to drink Miller High Life." And I opened one, and the Patriots scored. And then I drank another High Life, and they scored again. And you guys know the rest of that story. I became High Life wasted at the end of Super Bowl 51. That was amazing. So, yeah, good times. We're going to use, oh my gosh, this is the dirtiest glass ever. I just walked. This is embarrassing. I'm going to pour this not in front of the camera because holy smokes. That's embarrassing. You guys don't need to see me pour Miller High Life. That whole thing fits in that glass, huh? It sure does. So yeah, amazingly fond memories of this beer. It's been a couple years since I've had it. I wouldn't be able to tell you if someone gave it to me blind that I was drinking Miller High Life, but it's that typical straw yellow. We're using our behind the bar glass again. I don't know, it just feels right to use Nathan's glasses for these cheap beers. I think he'd appreciate it. Fluffy finger of Bright White Head. It looks like a beer. Looks like a lager. Looks like a macro cheap beer. So I've been having fun doing this. We reviewed Old Style, we reviewed Pabst Blue Ribbon. I got a couple other beers that have been left behind. I'm going to review. You know what? It's fun to do this. I know a lot of the craft beer fuckers will be like, "I wouldn't be caught dead drinking that shit." And you know what? You're not wrong. Because if you were dead, you wouldn't be drinking anything. So cheers to that. So this doesn't have much of an aroma either. It's got like that faint beer smell. It smells like beer, best way to describe it. There's a little bit of sweetness, and it's got that grainy kind of wheaty thing. There's a little bit of like, I don't want to say skunky because people say skunky's a bad thing, but it's got like this kind of skunky bitter hop thing, but it's this light kind of beer smell. There is a sweetness though that I'm smelling. I mean, nothing offensive, but it's like on the sweeter side. So let's go and taste it. Cheers. Champagne of beers. I mean, listen, it's not going to tell us the ABV on this, right? This is another beer, and I've noticed since I've been doing these reviews, this beer is a chugger. I could absolutely chug this entire thing right now with no problem. This is probably, I think the last 2 beers that we did were 4.7%. Let's see here. It says it. This is 4.6%. You could absolutely smash this beer. And it tastes what it smells like. It's this light, I mean, I don't want to call it watery, but it's nothing exciting, but it's beer. So I don't know like what else to say about these macro lagers. It's not offensive. That sweetness that you smelled, it's there a little bit on the finish. Again though, it's very grainy, very wheaty. It's what I remember beer tasting like from when I first started drinking beer. It's very light, it's crisp, it's refreshing. This is a beer, again, when it's 100 degrees and you're mowing the lawn, you'll drink this like it's water and you'll be super stoked on it. Would I be able to discern this between PBR and Old Style? Old Style, maybe I'd be able to tell because I remember that smelling really different. I've got some of these beers left. Maybe we'll do blind battle beers. But again, I mean, there's nothing offensive about this beer. I think these are like $8.99 for a 12-pack of bottles. So again, it's a value beer. But that's in California. It's probably cheaper outside of California. Everything's fucking more expensive in California. It's a champagne of beer. It's Miller High Life. I'm not mad at this beer. The couple that are left behind, maybe I'll drink them during the Super Bowl again this weekend to try and bring us some luck. I don't know. I don't hate this beer though. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I would gladly sit at your house if you had these in your fridge, hang out, watch football, and drink them with you. So there you go. Another cheap beer that was left behind in my fridge in the books for review. So that's Miller High Life. I know a bunch of you have had this beer, and I bet you a lot of you will say you like this beer. And it's funny to hear people like talk shit about these beers. Ask your brewers of your favorite breweries that you like what they're drinking when they brew beer. It's probably something like this. It's just the way it goes. So that's it. I'm out of here, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you very soon. Cheers.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.